This is Legendary Mountain. The desolate scenery is breathtaking. Conquering the snow, watch it right before you sleep. Guaranteed to give you a great night's sleep after watching. If I'm not mistaken, your phone battery is probably around 60%. And your right leg is crossed over your left. If I guessed right, that's amazing. If wrong, in this desolate, deserted place, AP Shan, the wilderness survival master, is here. Escaping the recent 40 degrees Celsius heat, he decided to build an extra shelter to cool down. He set down his backpack. Then he meticulously measured and sketched the house foundation. Next, AP Don pulled out his multi-tool shovel and started digging for gold for the foundation pit. The shovel flew in his hands. The soil here is soft and loose, and also sandy soil. So digging is effortless. Even so, after digging the foundation pit, it still required some time and effort. In the blink of an eye, snow had covered the ground in white. After a few hours of hard work, the outline of the house foundation was revealed. AP Dan's shelter foundation pit was almost done. Then, at the four corners of the foundation pit, he dug for deep holes to drive in wooden stakes. Now the Dark Whisper battle axe and steel saw were ready for AP Dawn to gather wood for building the house. After careful measurements, he used the steel saw to split the wood as desired. The steel saw in AP Dan's hand was like a legendary sword cutting through iron as if it were marked. The wood was easy saw, flawless. There's a proverb to survive in the wilderness. You must know how to live off the land and utilize everything. Guaranteed to outlast a leech. In no time, AP Don has gathered enough wood. He firmly planted the wooden stakes into the dug holes. These wooden stakes, he planted 4 of them in one go, to support the entire house. After that, he filled the holes with soil and compacted it tightly, ensuring the stakes wouldn't wobble and the house wouldn't collapse. Done, AP Dan started building the house. Each log was set up perfectly straight, to make the walls as sturdy as a tripod. He had to use hemp rope to tie them together. In a flash, the walls were up. But the sun had set. The sunset was magnificently beautiful, coloring the entire snowy area golden. AP Don dug a pit and immediately lit a roaring campfire. Taking advantage of the faint firelight, he continued to build the walls. It was completely dark, so he decided to continue building tomorrow. The next morning, despite the light snowfall, AP Don finished building more walls. So, 2 walls of the shelter were perfectly done. Next, he immediately built the back wall. He stuck to his usual method. First, he sawed the wood to fit and then stacked each piece. In an instant, the back wall was also up. Finally, he used hemp rope to tie it securely. Thus, the house gradually took shape. Under the entrance, he placed some locks to secure it. To make entry and exit more convenient, he immediately dug steps right at the door. These steps not only made it easier to move around, but also made the entrance much cleaner. The snow was thick, so AP Don had to speed up building the house to move in. He placed one log above the door and another between the two walls. Just like that, he had the main beam to support the roof. It constantly snows and rains in Frankfurt, so he chose an A-frame roof for convenience. AP Don chiseled grooves at the end of each log. He chiseled them this way to make it easier to tie with hemp rope. Then he arranged each processed log onto the roof beams, forming a beautiful A-frame roof. To keep the logs from shifting, AP Don securely tied them with hemp rope at each joint. Bathed in the morning sun, AP Dan's roof was also finished. He stood on the roof to test its sturdiness. Result, it could withstand 100 kilograms. Excellent. Finally, he carved a hole in the roof. This is for the chimney. Perfect. A good shelter must have a super sturdy door. AP Dawn meticulously carved mortise joints into the wood. He continued to make mortises for the doorframe. With the tenants fitted, he immediately had a high-quality door. That could open and close smoothly. Next, he made a door. Still, the old trick tenon and mortise. He drilled 2 holes in the round log, then used wooden pegs to join them. Just proceed like that, and it's done. In a flash, the super sturdy door was complete. AP Don placed 2 logs inside the house. Then he made small logs on top, using wooden pegs to secure everything. Tonight he had a big bed to sleep on. Finally, AP Dan cleared the stove. Then he laid a thick waterproof layer, securing the corners. Next, he compacted soil over the waterproof layer, building a retaining wall with round logs around the roof. Finally, he covered the roof with soil to complete it. In no time, AP Dan's shelter had taken shape. Now it was -6 degrees Celsius. He placed the stove in a corner. Next, he installed the chimney for the stove. To ensure the chimney vented smoke properly, AP Dan grabbed his Dark Whisper battle axe and started chopping wood. In a few swings, he had a whole pile of firewood. Firewood into the stove. Then lit it with a torch. Thick smoke billowed up. AP Dan continued to feed the fire with heat, ensuring the fire burned easily, warming the freezing snowy region. Next, he took a clean pot of snow, placing it on the stove, using the residual heat to melt it. Then prepared a hearty dinner. AP John put some frozen shrimps into the pot. AP Dan's life is truly interesting. And he even gets such rich protein. Half an hour later, a steaming pot of steamed shrimp was ready. AP Dan sat in the shelter he built himself, enjoying the delicious meal. It was truly indescribably blissful. After a full meal, seeing that the night was about to get freezing cold, AP Don cleared out all the dry firewood. He neatly stacked the firewood next to the stove. He shut the door tight with a thud, and then fell sound asleep. Outside, snow was falling heavily, but inside, it was still warm like spring.